Have you ever, after a long, tiring day, taken a container of leftovers from the fridge, put it in the microwave, and thought you were making a quick and healthy choice? It's a familiar routine in millions of kitchens worldwide, a symbol of convenience in modern life. But what if I told you that this seemingly harmless act, depending on the type of food, could be silently turning your meal into a health threat? That some of our favorite foods, when reheated, can release toxic compounds, increasing the risk of chronic diseases, digestive problems, and even cancer and brain damage over time. This is not an empty warning or a baseless rumor. This is a truth backed by scientific research from the world's most reputable health organizations like the WHO, FDA, and studies published in leading medical journals. In this article, we will analyze in detail, not only to discover which foods require absolute caution when reheating, but also to understand the surprising scientific reasons behind it. Knowledge is power. Understanding what is really happening at a molecular level in your food will help you make smarter choices, protecting your and your family's precious health every day. I am Dr. Minions, a master of medicine specializing in emergency and critical care. Are you ready to uncover this secret? If you're busy, please save the video to watch later. 1. Spinach, from superfood to hidden danger. Spinach is a true nutritional powerhouse. We love it for its versatility and undeniable health benefits. Whether blended in a smoothie, sautéed with garlic, layered in lasagna, or tossed in a salad, this leafy green is a staple packed with vitamins D, C, K, iron, and antioxidants. However, the very habit of reheating cooked spinach can turn this superfood into a potential health risk. The core issue lies in its naturally high nitrate content. In their natural state, nitrates are completely harmless, even beneficial. But when spinach is cooked, stored, especially at room temperature or in the fridge for too long, and then reheated, a dangerous chemical transformation occurs. According to studies confirmed by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services and the Hong Kong Center for Food Safety, the high heat during reheating causes nitrates to break down into nitrites. More alarmingly, these nitrites can further convert into nitrosamines, a group of compounds identified by the World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute as being potentially carcinogenic. This risk is particularly linked to gastrointestinal cancers such as stomach and colorectal cancer. For infants under 6 months, the risk is even more acute, potentially causing blue baby syndrome, methemoglobinemia, a dangerous condition where nitrites interfere with the blood's ability to carry oxygen. For the elderly, whose bodies are inherently more sensitive, this risk takes on a different nuance. Our cellular repair mechanisms slow down with age, and our detoxification systems become less efficient. Emerging studies suggest that long-term exposure to low levels of nitrosamines may contribute to nerve damage and chronic inflammation, a factor linked to cognitive decline and neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease. Imagine a very familiar scenario. You cook a large pot of vegetable soup with spinach over the weekend. By midweek, you reheat a portion in the microwave. Although convenient, the storage and reheating process may have created nitrosamines. Repeating this habit over months and years can cause these compounds to accumulate silently, contributing to long-term health risks. The safe solution: instead of avoiding spinach altogether, let's change how we handle it. It's best to consume spinach fresh or only lightly cooked. If you have leftovers, try eating them cold in salads or gazpacho. If you must reheat, use low heat on the stovetop instead of the microwave, and absolutely do not reheat it multiple times. 2. Potatoes and the risk of botulism. A foil-wrapped baked potato is a beloved side dish, but that very foil wrapping can create a deadly environment. The risk here is Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium that causes botulism, one of the most dangerous types of food poisoning. C. botulinum thrives in low oxygen environments. When you bake a whole potato tightly wrapped in foil, you inadvertently create a perfect anaerobic incubator. The bacteria's spores can survive baking temperatures. If the potato is then left to cool slowly at room temperature while still wrapped in foil, these spores have the opportunity to germinate and produce a powerful neurotoxin. A famous botulism outbreak in 1994 in Texas sickened 30 people who ate a potato salad made from foil-wrapped baked potatoes left at room temperature. The botulinum toxin is colorless, odorless, and tasteless, but it can cause muscle paralysis, difficulty breathing, and even death. The elderly with potentially compromised nervous and immune systems are particularly vulnerable to its devastating effects. The safe solution: if you bake foil-wrapped potatoes, eat them immediately while they're hot. If there are leftovers, remove the foil immediately, cool them quickly, and store them in the refrigerator. Absolutely do not leave baked foil-wrapped potatoes at room temperature. 3. Chicken and the silent oxidation process. Chicken is considered a lean, healthy protein, but when reheated, especially at high temperatures, its protein and fat structures change in harmful ways. Research from PMC 2020 shows reheating at 70 degrees Celsius or higher significantly increases lipid oxidation. It creates T-bars, or thiobarbituric acid reactive substances, an indicator of harmful oxidation. It reduces the activity of antioxidant enzymes like catalase and superoxide dismutase, and it increases non-heme iron and hydroxyl radicals, promoting inflammation. The scientific studies above have shown that reheating chicken to temperatures of 70 degrees Celsius and above significantly increases lipid oxidation. This process creates harmful compounds like T-bars and advanced glycation end products. These compounds not only make the chicken tougher and harder to digest, but they are also a major cause of low-grade systemic inflammation in the body. Chronic inflammation is recognized as the root cause of many modern diseases, from heart disease and insulin resistance to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's disease. For an aging body, continuously consuming inflammatory compounds is like adding fuel to a smoldering fire, depleting energy, reducing mental clarity, and accelerating the aging process. The safe solution. It's best, if you need to reheat chicken, to choose a gentle method like using a low-temperature oven or pan searing on the stove, rather than the microwave, which can create uneven hot spots. And most importantly, do not reheat it multiple times. 4. Eggs and oxidized cholesterol. Eggs are a nutritional superstar, but reheating them can tarnish their benefits. The main concern here is the oxidation of cholesterol on the yolk. When exposed to high heat multiple times, cholesterol can transform into compounds called oxysterols. Studies published in reputable journals like Nature have confirmed that oxysterols have cytotoxic and potentially carcinogenic properties. They also contribute to inflammation and increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. As with chicken, consuming these inflammatory compounds can place an unnecessary burden on an older person's body, affecting cardiovascular health and cognitive function. The safe solution? It's best to prioritize eating freshly cooked eggs. If you hard-boil eggs to eat later, enjoy them cold as a snack or in a salad rather than reheating them. And understanding the risks from each type of food is crucial, but applying general food safety principles is even more important. Based on recommendations from the FDA and international health agencies, remember these rules. The 2-hour, 2-day rule. Refrigerate food within 2 hours of cooking, consume leftovers within 2 days. The danger zone. Bacteria grow fastest between 4 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius, or 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Minimize the time food spends in this range. Safe reheating temperature. Always reheat food to a minimum internal temperature of 74 to 75 degrees Celsius or 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Limit reheating times. Although there's no rigid rule, each reheating increases the risk of nutritional degradation and the formation of harmful compounds. It is best to reheat only once. And if you don't know the most effective way to lower blood lipids without medication, click on this video. The link is also in the comments below.